Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing very well. So today I'm here to do I guess full face of makeup of a couple of new products. Not everything is new, so the title is a little bit incorrect, so I do apologise, but I do have quite a few new products that I want to try today. First of all, I want to talk about my earrings. So I had purchased these from an independent brand called House of the Dead, and I found these guys on Instagram, and I just want to talk about how gorgeous these are. These are meant to be kind of like blood droplets, I guess, because they're called Vampire's Drop or something like that, Vampire's Kiss, something like that. But they are really gorgeous, and I just love the look of them, and thought I would just talk about them quickly because I think they only cost like £12, and I've just put them on for the first time trying them, and they just feel so lightweight, and they come in this really cute little box. And I got another little item as well. They were really kind enough to give me like an amethyst bracelet. I should have worn it, but yeah, I really recommend trying them out. Like, they've got some, if you love like gothic jewelry or things like that, I would definitely check them out. So let's get on to some makeup. So I have been purchasing some things from Beauty Bay, and so I wanted to just use them today. As you can see, I've got sellotape on, so we're going to start off with the eyes. I want to try some really exciting things because I've got the new liquid eyeshadow from Sample Beauty. I've got an eyeshadow palette from them as well. I have a lip product from NYX again. I have one of the MUA blushes, but we've got a lot. So again, I'm going to start off with the eyes today. I'm just going to quickly prime my eyes. I should have done this off camera, but I wanted to kind of talk about the product just as it dries. So I'm just using one of my Beauty Bay eye bases, which I've used so many times and that I love. So I'm just going to tap it down with a beauty blender so it doesn't become too tacky. So let's show you what I've got. So I'm going to show you guys the liquid eyeshadow first because these are pretty new. So these are the matte liquid eyeshadows by Sample Beauty, and I thought, you know what, let's go for a daring colour. So I got blue. They do actually come out with a lot of different shades, and they've also come out with a kind of make your own palette as well. So they come with there was like a 4 palette or like a maybe 12 or 7 palette which are quite cheap actually. So I think the empty pan you can buy for maybe £4 or £5, and each shadow is about £4 itself. But this liquid eyeshadow is £5. This is in the shade Vigor, V-I-G-O-U-R, Vigor. I've never tried anything by Sample Beautiful, and I also picked up one of their eyeshadow palettes. This is the Hydrographic palette. I'm going to show you inside, but unfortunately mine turned up broken, so I have to be very careful. I did take out the stuff that has broken, but it's a bit frustrating because a big chunk of it fell out. I don't know if you can see it. I did contact Beauty Bay and they kindly gave me back 40% of the palette. I mean, the palette itself was on sale for about £6 something, so they gave me just under £3 back, which is, you know, fair enough. But when I was taking out, kind of getting rid of the other palette, some of the other pans kind of were lifted slightly, so I'm going to be very careful with this palette. And I think the thing is with Sample Beauty, a lot of their eyeshadow palettes are quite decently priced, but I've never tried them before, and because they were quite cheap, I thought, you know what, let's give it a go. So today I'm gonna start off with my eyes with the Sample Beauty liquid eyeshadow. I'm gonna swatch it for you guys because I haven't even swatched it myself, but I'm gonna be very careful. So I'm actually gonna use a brush today because I just feel that I will mess it up so much. So let's see. Oh wow, that is extremely pigmented. That's gorgeous. I'm gonna let it settle for just a moment and see how it works. So I'm going to start off with this blue, and then we'll just go for it with the other shades. So, I mean, I hope it doesn't take too long to dry down, but I'm going to use a flat brush first of all because I don't know about using the actual applicator. It's got a standard doe foot, which is fine, but I want to be extremely careful because I don't want to mess it up because I'm not that great at, you know, liquid eyeshadows, but you know, practice makes perfect. So I've just got some on one side of my brush, and like I said, I've got sellotape already, so that's going to be my kind of guide, as I've done many times before. So let's give it a go. Wish me luck. I think I'm just going to start by tapping, just because I just want it to be, just see how it works. Maybe if it works kind of the same way like a P. Louise base does, and it almost feels like actual paint. Like I've never obviously had paint on my eyes before, but it does feel like kind of paint that you would use to paint with, essentially. So I'm just tapping slightly. As you can see, as it kind of goes on, the pigment goes slightly, but I think there's only so much you can use on here. And instead of gliding it, because I think that won't work as well, I'm just going to keep on tapping. And I don't know, it could be the same if I actually put the product on my eye and then blend it out, but let's try it this way. And so far you can see that it is going everywhere, and I think this was only £5, I believe, so that is again quite decently priced. And they do have such a wide selection of shades also, and they did have some absolutely gorgeous colours, like they had some oranges and quite neon shades as well. So let's try this side. It's quite difficult for me to close this eye and keep the other eye open. So, and again, like normal, you know, both my eyes are going to look completely different because I feel like my eye shape is so different on each side. But I'm going to clean this up because, again, I'm terrible at this. And if you glide it, it just becomes like there's a patch there. So I'm going to just tap, 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 tap. I'm not used to this kind of method because I like to glide, even with eyeshadow as well. I know a lot of people say you shouldn't really do that, but that's just how I do it. Okay. Again, this area is still pretty terrible. And as you guys know, I like using a harsh line when it comes to quite a defined look as well. So this so far is looking pretty cute. Again, it looks like a mess, but I'm hoping that when I use the other shadows on top, it will look fine. So I think what I'm going to do is just pause and kind of take this off, clean it up, and then I'll go on to the actual eyeshadows as well, because then they can build it up and it will be neat. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I just took off the sellotape and I tried to make it a little bit neat, but it's quite tough to actually kind of tidy up. So it's dried down really quickly, which I guess is good, but if you need to kind of alter it, it's a little bit difficult. So let's go into the eyeshadow palette itself, and it's a green, blue, purple eyeshadow palette, and for me this is an absolutely gorgeous eyeshadow palette, and I hope it has some pigment to it. So I'm going to go in with Dory, which was unfortunately the shade that was completely wrecked. So I'm just going to take one of my Morphe brushes and I'm going to be very careful with it because it is already broken, and it's quite a light blue. So I'm going to kind of go towards the middle a bit, and then on the outer corners I'll try and do like a darker shade if I can kind of build up one. So let's just kind of pat this down. And I feel like when it comes to liquid eyeshadows, to stop it becoming so sticky, to actually use some powder on top. And I know a lot of liquid eyeshadows these days, the whole purpose is that they're not so sticky, but like I retried one of the ELF sticks recently, and it was, before I put on any shadow, it was absolutely just, you know, just wrecking my eyelids and so creasy. And when I added a shadow on top of it, it worked perfectly well, so it stayed for the rest of the day. So I think if you were to purchase something like this, make sure you do put down some powder on top, because it will just not feel so great. This is okay so far. I mean, I've had to end up just putting it on the rest of the lid, and I know this is looking so messy, but it's a bit difficult to actually kind of blend on top of this because it is quite sticky. So that's kind of gone everywhere, which is looking okay. So I'm going to now go in with another shade, and of course I'm probably not going to use the greens today because it just won't look that as well. So I'm probably going to go in with maybe Fuck Plastic, even though I don't know if this is recyclable plastic, but you know, each company to their own. So that is actually a shimmer, so I'm going to just take one of my brushes and I'm just going to put that on the kind of middle part of my lid and see if it works. And that is very pigmented. That's very nice. It's actually easier to blend that out now because the other shade is on the bottom, and there's a lot of fallout, so be very careful. So it's a good thing that I'm actually doing my eyes first, because if I put my foundation on and everything, it probably wouldn't have looked as great. So, and when I put my foundation on, it will actually help sculpt this a bit better. So I mean, this shimmer is very pigmented and it's very nice. It's just at the top, it's just very it's a little bit patchy, so I might have to go in afterwards and just kind of add a bit more, which is normally okay. So far it's looking okay. It is looking like a complete mess, but that's because it's the early stages. So we're going to go on to foundation now, and I've already added a bit of a primer. So I use one of my Essence face mist primers, and it's settled on my skin nicely. So I actually have a new foundation. It's a sample of the Estee Lauder Double Wear Makeup Foundation. This was like samples that you can order online for free, that they can just send you in the post, and this is probably one of the lightest shades, but I think it's a bit orange for me. So it's I think it's like 3C2 Pebble. I'm guessing that is a shade. I did swatch a bit earlier and it does look slightly orange, so I'm gonna have to use a good amount of a concealer on my face. So I'm hoping this video is not a complete mess, just full of so much fail. So I'm just gonna add a bit on my hand because it's in this little bottle. So I'm just gonna take, yeah, I mean, you can see that is quite orange. So, and it smells as well. What is it with really expensive foundations? They absolutely stink. I don't know what it is. Oh, okay, that's a little bit too dark. We're gonna work with it. It's the same with the MAC foundation. It smells so badly. It smelled so badly that it gave me a migraine when I wore it last time. So this is so far not really doing much to my skin, and I know that I always need a full coverage foundation, but this is not actually doing anything apart from making me look a little bit patchy. I should have actually cleaned the bottom of my face to get rid of that blue. Oh, I'm not filmed in a couple of days and I'm kind of out of the funk, out of kind of like, you know, when you need to get back into filming mood again. Just add a bit more. I don't know how much I need. It's kind of not even blending, it's not even sinking into the sponge, to be honest. It's just disappearing. And to be honest, if it doesn't settle into my skin, I mean, what can you do? This makeup's not going to be on all day. It's only going to be on for a little bit. I'm going to film another video after this, but I can always change my foundation. I mean, I would say it is dark for me, but I can barely see it on my skin, and I think you probably can tell a difference, but it's just looking a bit orange, like I've been on holiday. And this was the lightest shade that they had, so I apologise if I do look really out of place, but I am going to hopefully change it. Oh, this video's not going well, is it? Oh man. Okay, just add a tiny bit more. This is meant to be like a 10-day sample and I've already used half of it on just one sitting. I'm gonna add a bit more, and then, I mean, it's looking okay. Maybe it's gonna work better if it like settles into when it settles into my skin, but I'm not gonna let it get to that point because I need to put a lot of concealer on. Okay, this is way too dark. Yes, okay. I am going to use my under eye concealer, which I'm going to use a lot of, just so it can help lighten the tone just a bit. Okay, oh my god. I mean, normally when I order samples, I try and order the lightest, but I think because they had run out of so many, I just ordered whatever it was, and doesn't look that great. So I mean, I'm sure it's quite a nice foundation, but this is not going to be on for very long today because I don't want to keep this on. The eyes are okay. I mean, I think I need to maybe add a bit more to it possibly, but we'll see. So far we're looking okay. Up close we're okay. On camera I can't even tell. It does not match me at all. Like, obviously I'm trying my best to with what I got. Let's add a tiny bit more, and more concealer, more. Okay, I'm sorry if this video is already like super duper long, but okay, that's looking a tad bit better. But again, I shouldn't really have to do that because I should have just got a foundation that was my shade. So I'm just going to quickly and settle a little bit with my Lasting Perfection powder, because I have a cream blush that I'm going to try, like a new cream blush. So I'm just going to take a bit of my kabuki brush, tap some into the lid, and try and not get this everywhere because loose powders are a pain, but let's just get it in some of my usual places where we're quite oily. And okay, the foundation is not looking too bad. I think it did help using the concealer. So of course, if you do feel like your foundation could be too dark or it could be too light, sometimes you can bronze it up a bit, contour, just to kind of, I know contour is meant to be like chiseling and kind of a bit more definition, but I feel like if you do need to kind of change your foundation up a bit, I think it's always good to do that. So let's go on to blush. So I have the MUA blush, the liquid blushes. I haven't tried this one before, so I am quite excited, and this is in the shade Watermelon. I think this is going to be quite red, but you guys know I like a red highlight, a kind of a reddy blush, so I'm going to be very careful because I already see it. I'm just going to work quickly, oh my god, because I don't want this to settle in and not be able to blend out. I'm going to try a bit on my sponge and blend in a bit more. Can't really see it. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm going to try a tad bit more, but try and not drag it everywhere. Okay. It is quite a nice glow. I just don't know if you can see it on camera. Again, up front, it looks okay. Let's go a bit more on the other side because we haven't tried the side yet. I think when it comes to using these type of blushes, using a sponge is always more beneficial, because if you use a brush, it probably won't work as well. So you do have to be quite careful. This side it looks much better. Yeah, I still would say something like the e.l.f. Putty Blush or even the Melt Cosmetics one are going to be better than this one probably. This one was only, I think it was maybe £3 or even less than that. But of course there's a range of shades because you can't really sample them at the moment and you can't really see which one to try. I'm just going to quickly go in with a highlighter, but I'm just going with my Wet n Wild one because it's part of my project pan, and I've been using it a lot, so that's a lot. But we like a lot. And of course when it's part of my project pan, I want to try and use it as much as possible, and because I don't have a new highlighter, I might as well just use it today. So I'm just going to add a bit more powder to my chin and here. I kind of feel like I've really just messed up my eye makeup a lot. It doesn't look that great. Oh, this video is becoming a bit of a pain. What I want to do is, when I ordered my Cradle of Filth palette, I mentioned that I did get a couple of things extra, which was really kind of them to do that. And they gave me this kind of eye topper. So this is in the shade Tiana, and it is a, if I can open it, it is, like I mentioned, a little shimmer. So I just want to add a little bit of it. It's kind of like a duochrome, and I'm going to add just the tiniest amount because I feel like this is going to be really pigmented. So again, going to be very careful, and I'm going to just add that here. Oh wow. And I'm just going to blend it, and I think it will work quite well because green and blues do go very well together. I've had a busy morning. I went out this morning, went to do a bit of shopping, and I am frazzled. My brain is all over the place. It's settled in quite nicely. Okay, I'm just gonna blend that. And I think with these little pots, you can obviously buy them separately on the VE Cosmetics website, and I think they might be around £5–6, which is great because you only need the tiniest amount, like you can see here. It's very pigmented, but again, I don't want to drop it because I know I'm so clumsy when it comes to stuff like this. So I'm just going to add a bit more to this side because it doesn't look like there's enough. Right. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to do my lips off camera because you don't need to watch me do my lips in silence. I might add something to my lower lash line as well, just to give a bit of emphasis, and I'll be right back. Okay, so yeah, with my lips, right, I forgot to say that this is actually in the shade World Shaper. It says on the website that it was red, but it's actually quite a kind of pinky red, which I guess is okay. But yeah, this is my finished look. I don't know how I feel about it. I like it, but I do kind of don't like it at the same time. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. I'm okay to criticism, obviously I don't really care, but when it comes to this liquid eyeshadow, it's okay. I think of course, like most things, I need to play with it again just to see what it is like, and then with the eyeshadow palette I need to try it by itself because I feel like maybe on top of the liquid eyeshadow it might not have done the best job. With the liquid blush, I need to maybe try it under a different base. I don't know. We all need to give second chances to everything. This foundation, I guess, is nice, but it's not my shade. And I've obviously tried my best to kind of make it my shade, but honestly, next time I'll just choose a shade that isn't that is actually mine. Anything else? This topper is very nice. It was, like I said, just gifted to me, part of the palette, so it's really nice. It does go quite nicely on top of that shimmer, but I will try it again separately. Okay, thank you so much for watching. That was a roller coaster of a video, so I do apologise if I was all over the place because, oh my god, my hair. My hair's a freaking mess. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video. I am really sorry, it's probably not my best video, but I did my best. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I film and upload every time I get a chance to. Don't forget to follow me on my social media because I'm always active on there. And yeah, I hope you're doing well, you're healthy, happy, and you're safe. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.